Way back on March 9, 1959, history was made when Ruth Handler launched her creation, the Barbie doll, with the assistance of famed toy manufacturer Mattel. 2 years later, in 1961, Ruth and Elliot Handler, again with the help of Mattel, gave Barbie a boyfriend named Ken. Now, the story of Barbie and Ken will be told in a major Hollywood blockbuster, so stay tuned and don't go away, because Will Ferrell is hyping up Margot Robbie's Barbie, and other times Hollywood let down their female viewers. First up, why is Will Ferrell hyping up Margot Robbie's Barbie? We're about to find out. Aside from the fact that Will Ferrell is in 2023's Barbie, there's another reason that Ferrell is hyping up the film. While recently speaking with the Wall Street Journal, Ferrell said it's a loving homage to the brand, and at the same time, couldn't be more satirical. Just an amazing comment on male patriarchy and women in society, and why Barbie's criticized, and yet why every little girl still wants to play with Barbie. Boy, when I read it, I was like, this is fantastic. But Aussie megastar Margot Robbie and Hollywood heavyweight Will Ferrell aren't the only big names attached to the project. You can expect to see film star Ryan Gosling, who will play the iconic Ken doll, alongside actors Simu Liu, Nikuti Gatwa, Emma Mackey, Kate McKinnon, America Ferrera, and Michael Cera. At the time of this recording, however, all we know is that Robbie will play Barbie and Gosling will play Ken, and unfortunately, no information is available on who the other stars will play. Despite all the hype and excitement building for Barbie, there have been a ton of leaks. Robbie and Gosling's wardrobe choices were leaked when photographers snapped pictures of the stars performing scenes together in public. Robbie said, "I can't tell you how mortified we were, by the way. We look like we're laughing and having fun, but we're dying on the inside. Dying. I was like, this is the most humiliating moment of my life." Next up, what does Margot Robbie really think about 2023's Barbie? Let's take a look. When it comes to Robbie's general thoughts and impressions about the Barbie film, her responses have certainly been candid. She's already addressed concerns that the movie will inadvertently perpetuate Mattel's notoriety for conveying damaging body image messages to children, given that the Barbie doll is almost always universally depicted as slender with blonde hair and blue eyes. Robbie recently opened up about the film and said, "It comes with a lot of baggage, but with that come a lot of exciting ways to attack it. People generally hear Barbie and think, I know what that movie is going to be, and then they hear that Greta Gerwig is writing and directing it, and they're like, oh, well, maybe I don't." All in all, though, Robbie feels that Gerwig's Barbie adaptation will succeed in subverting expectations and that audiences will leave theaters pleasantly surprised with what they've just seen. Robbie explains, "Our goal is to be like, whatever you're thinking, we're going to give you something totally different, the thing you didn't know you wanted." Like much of the details surrounding the cast, information regarding the film's plot and storylines are shrouded in mystery. If you're looking for something fun and exciting to do next summer, there's no need to worry, because Barbie will be roller skating into a theater near you on July 21st, 2023. We always love to know what our viewers are thinking, so tell us if you're excited to see 2023's Barbie. Drop those comments down below. Up next, is Hollywood letting down its female viewers? Let's find out. The debate about whether or not Hollywood lets down its female viewers has long raged on, and unfortunately, the question is far too broad and complex to be answered with a simple yes or a no. In order to measure the representation of women in film, we must assess films on a case-by-case basis, because obviously, not all films are created equal. But there is a test that we can use, and it's called the Bechdel test. The Bechdel test is a measure of the representation of women in movies, or in fiction in general. The test asks whether a film features at least two women talking to each other about something other than a man, and whether the two female characters are named in the film. To be clear, passing or failing the test doesn't necessarily tell us how well women are represented in a particular film, but rather, the test is used as an indicator of the active presence of women in the entire field of film and other fiction. Another purpose of the test is to call attention to gender inequality in fiction. According to data collected from the entertainment industry, we know that films that pass the Bechdel test rake in more cash at the box office compared to those that don't. The Bechdel test is named after the American cartoonist Alison Bechdel. Something tells me that 2023's Barbie is certainly going to pass the test. Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're about to take a hard look at Hollywood blockbusters who have failed the Bechdel test. Next up, which Hollywood blockbusters have epically failed the Bechdel test? You're about to find out. For those of you who may still be unclear about how the test works, just remember that to pass the Bechdel test, a film must meet two specific requirements. Number 1, there must be two women named in the film. And number 2, said women must have a conversation about something other than a man. Simple, right? And believe it or not, a shocking number of some of Hollywood's most successful and popular films fail the test in epic fashion. Take the Lord of the Rings trilogy, for instance. With countless male characters, the Lord of the Rings trilogy only features 3 female characters. Yes, these are strong female characters, Arwen, Éowyn, and Galadriel, but unfortunately, the women exist in different parts of Middle-earth and never meet each other. In other words, the Lord of the Rings trilogy fails the Bechdel test. 2007's Ratatouille flunked the test test as well. The only named female characters in the film are Solène Leclerc, a food critic seen only in one scene, and Colette, the restaurant's only female chef. The two women never speak, so Ratatouille clearly fails the test and lets down its female viewers. Can you think of any Hollywood blockbuster films off the top of your head that fail or would likely fail the Bechdel test? Up next, which 2008 romantic drama fails the Bechdel test and lets its female viewers down? This one might surprise you. It certainly surprised me. I'll give you a hint. The film made me want to get up and dance and sing and shout the words "Jai Ho" from the rooftops. Anyone? Anyone? Come on, seriously, nobody? If you guessed 2008 Slumdog Millionaire, you guessed correctly. Slumdog Millionaire tells the story of a teenager from Mumbai named Jamal, played by film star Dev Patel, who becomes a contestant on the Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Jamal is arrested for allegedly cheating on the show and recounts his life story while under interrogation. We only see two named female characters in Jamal's story: his mother, who dies early in the film, and Latika, Jamal's love interest, played by the beautiful Frida Pinto. The two women never speak to each other, so after taking the Bechdel test, Slumdog Millionaire gets a big fat F. Moving on now to another film that easily fails the Bechdel test and lets down its female viewers is 2009's Avatar. Ironically, 2009's Avatar is the highest-grossing film ever made, so you'd think it would have passed the test, but no, epic fail. Filmmaker James Cameron created a world full of incredible landscapes, animals, and wild-looking beings, but what the film clearly lacks is meaningful interactions between women, which was a letdown for some female viewers. Avatar includes more than two named female characters, but they only ever speak about men. In one scene, Neytiri and her mother speak with one another, but the convo is about Jake, the Marine sent on a mission to their planet. Finally, what are other times Hollywood has let down its female viewers? I've gotta say, I love 2010's The Social Network, but the film ultimately fails the Bechdel test, and might I add, fails it miserably. The Social Network tells the story of social media mogul Mark Zuckerberg as he creates the Facebook, and deals with a legal battle launched by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. The Social Network does feature a number of named female characters, but the women never speak to each other, are completely undeveloped, and worse, the women seemingly exist mainly as accessories to the men in the film. Believe it or not, 2012's The Avengers fails the Bechdel test as well. You'd think that with a budget of $220 million, someone over at Marvel or on the production team would have said, "Hey, we're not going to let down our female viewers, right?" But no, that didn't happen. The Avengers starts when Earth's top superheroes come together to stop Loki and his army from enslaving the human race. While the film does include three substantial and named female characters, Natasha Romanoff, Pepper Potts, and Agent Maria Hill, the three women never have a conversation with each other for the entirety of the film. So clearly, as you can see, 2012's The Avengers fails the Bechdel test big time, and lets down its female viewers. That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe.
This usually works.
Well, performance issues, it's not uncommon.